was wrong with Adrian Broner post-fight saying he won that fight against Pacquiao? Hell no, he did not. He did not win that fight. Pacquiao was all over him.
We don't have our own house, we don't have land, we don't have even food. We just, you know, we have to work every day to make money to buy.
What happens when the greatest warriors ever to step into a boxing ring all agree on one thing? And what if that one thing isn't just a name but a force of nature, a human hurricane named Manny Pacquiao? When legends speak, the world listens. And when they can't stop talking about how frighteningly brilliant Manny was in his prime, you know we're not dealing with just a great fighter, we're witnessing a phenomenon. A fighter who tore through weight classes like paper and danced around opponents like a storm in sneakers. That's not just skill, that's history. And while it's funny, emotional, and inspiring, it's also undeniable boxing has had many icons, but only one Manny Pacquiao. When the gloves are off and the years roll by, what remains are the moments that stunned the world. Manny gave us those moments again and again. He left champions dazed, legends speechless, and fans in awe. Ricky Hatton, brave as he was, stepped in with Pacquiao and got scorched. A man who survived Floyd Mayweather Jr. was helpless against Manny's physics-defying speed. It wasn't just fast, it was unfair, and that's only part of the legend. What Manny did to fighters, what he made them admit, what he made them feel, that's where the story really begins. Even Mayweather, behind his smug smirk, once let it slip. He didn't beat Manny, he escaped him.
Hindi nakakaintindi. So,
That's Manny P.
That's extremely moving.
Yes,
We're
yes.
moved.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
okay.
But hold that thought, because every champion Pacquiao faced brought something different into the ring, and each of them left with more than bruises. They left transformed physically, emotionally, spiritually, so buckle in. This isn't just a highlight reel of boxing's past. This is a raw, unfiltered confession from the biggest names in the sport, each one stepping up, not to fight, but to testify under the lights about what it felt like to stand across from Manny Pacquiao, the storm that never stopped moving.
On that fight, I don't know what he was talking about when he said everybody knows he won the fight. Adrian Broner did not win that fight. And by the way, Jim Gray pointed out accurately, he averaged like, less than 8 punches around. What did I say when I interviewed him last week, huh, Jim? I said, they say you don't throw punches, man. He said it ain't about how many, it's about the right time.
But let's not skip.
Oscar de la Hoya learned the truth the hard way. The golden boy, once untouchable, stepped into the ring with the confidence of a man who'd seen it all, but he hadn't seen that. Manny wasn't just quick, he was surgical. De la Hoya, with all his pride, history, and hardware, was reduced to a shadow. He couldn't breathe, couldn't think, and worst of all, he knew it was over before the first bell finished echoing. That fight didn't just end his run, it erased it. Manny didn't just beat De La Hoya, he dismantled him. You see, Manny didn't win with fists alone. He used movement, rhythm, timing. He turned fights into symphonies and his opponents into lost conductors. Even Mayweather, the king of defense, once confessed Manny was probably the best he ever faced. Coming from the man who could dodge raindrops, that's not flattery. That's fact, because Manny's angles, his footwork, his combinations, they weren't boxing. They were brutal, beautiful jazz.
This is a beautiful gym. I hope that there's a lot of people will inspire to train here. Thank you. Congrats. Mike. Congrats. Congratulations.
Thank you, bro.
Yes, beautiful. I'm here to support you.
Thank you. Appreciate it, brother. Oscar.
And then there was Joshua Clottey, a man who stepped into the ring armed with ego and walked out folded like cheap origami. He didn't just lose, he froze. Years later, Clottey admitted what we all knew. He never stood a chance. He was outclassed, overwhelmed, underpaid. Manny's punches didn't come, they arrived in waves, in flurries, from directions Clottey couldn't even name. His mission became survival. Keith Thurman was next. Cocky, undefeated, calling himself the new king. And Manny, at 40, treated him like a warm-up big. Knockdowns, dominance, and that same impossible left hand. Thurman showed grit, sure, but he couldn't crack the code. Like so many before him, he realized late, by the time you figure out Manny's rhythm, he's already 3 steps ahead.
It shocked me because Pacquiao tends to lead with his head, which is how Marquez got him in that third fight.
Correct.
But he was quicker.
He was quicker. He was predictably more aggressive. He connected more. That 8th and 9th round, he was all over Adrian Broner.
Even the commentators couldn't hold it together. Max Kellerman, always logical and composed, sounded like a fanboy trying to describe Manny's run from flyweight to welterweight. 8 divisions, lineal titles, that's like winning the chess. Championship with every piece on the board. Unthinkable. Robert Garcia didn't flinch when asked to compare Mayweather's 50-0 to Manny's 8-division reign. Sure, 50 wins is impressive, but with the right management, any skilled fighter can chase 0. What Manny did, that's real, that's legacy. He didn't cherry pick. He went after the best, at their best, and still raised his hand when it was over. That's not just boxing, that's gladiator status.
Has a case for greatest fighter, pound for pound, who ever lived. Think about, by the way, I don't think he wins that argument. Sugar Ray Robinson is safely ensconced in that position. But Henry Armstrong, Muhammad Ali, Harry Greb, Sam Langford, Floyd Mayweather, Pernell Whitaker, whoever else you want to mention.
Antonio Margarito thought size mattered. He thought being the bigger man would give him the edge. But Manny turned him into a heavy bag with eyes. Round after round, punch after punch, Pacquiao rearranged Margarito's face. It wasn't just a loss, it was a clinic in pain. Broken bones, shattered pride, demolished game plan. Even Mike Tyson, the baddest man on earth, admitted it. Manny wasn't just good. He was unreal, like watching someone who hacked boxing's rules and rewrote the entire game. Bob Arum saw it too. In Pacquiao, he saw a spirit like Ollie's transcending the sport, lifting nations, uniting people. Manny was more than a fighter, he was a force. A smiling, laughing, history-making force.
Oh, mentally you prepared as well as physically prepared, Shane, but you know.
They have shelves. Yeah, they have shelves, bro. Just in case.
Shane.
No, Shane took everything.
With Pacquiao. Yeah, there. I remember one thing. I remember him wrapping his hand. Pacquiao.
As he wraps his own hands. Yeah.
Tim Bradley, who stood across from both Manny and Terrence Crawford, dropped some wisdom of his own. Manny wasn't just fast, he was instinct, a reflex in human form. He didn't wait for your move, he anticipated it. You'd throw a jab, and Manny had already landed 3, and then came the smile. That maddening choir boy grin that said, "You're doing great," right before he cracked your ribs. That duality, the gentle warrior outside the ropes, and the tornado within left. Opponents shaken. How do you hate a guy who smiles while breaking you? You don't. You just endure the pain and pray the bell rings soon.
We have to see that fight. So Pacquiao's peak was just about as good as anyone in history. Now, I'd have favored Mayweather back then. He's the naturally larger fighter. And that's the point. When you talk about pound for pound, if a fighter moves up out of his natural weight class and can still compete with the best who ever did it, what does that mean about the quality of that fighter's prime pound?
Now pause for a second. How often do boxing legends, men with egos carved from granite, come together and admit, yeah, that guy. He was different, you'd expect it once a generation. But Manny is that generation, even trainers grizzled. Veterans of the corner would stop mid-sentence when Pacquiao entered the gym. The sound of his gloves on mitts wasn't just practice, it was poetry, it was rhythm with violence. It was jazz played on human flesh. Conversations would pause. Silence would fall because the Southpaw Symphony had begun and no one wanted to miss the music.
Nice to meet you, Ali.
Thank you.
Nice to meet
How
you.
was it?
Amazing.
Good,
Thank
good.
you
You
for all the
enjoyed it?
hospitality.
Sorry I wasn't able to come and see you guys
no,
with everything that was going on.
It's okay. It's okay. Thank you.
Fighters knew they were doomed when their best punch landed clean and Manny smiled. You could hit him with a meteor and he'd just bounce in place, grin, and get back to work. You don't fight that, you survive it. Commentators, trained to stay cool, lost their minds during Manny's fights. They stumbled over words, shouted over each other, became fans in real time. You can't blame them. Calling a Pacquiao bout was like narrating a firestorm. Too fast, too wild, too beautiful. And his movement, Manny didn't box straight. He darted, zigzagged, vanished, one blink, he's gone. To blinks, you're on the mat, wondering what just happened.
Brandon Rios made Pacquiao look lightning fast. And then when he fought Tim, Manny looked fast, but not as fast. Now, but Tim's not necessarily known as fast. I am. What's going to happen if I something like that? It's all relative. Speed is relative.
Did you just say he's faster than me? Oh my gosh.
And yet, behind all that violence was a man who looked like he'd help you fix your car and offer you lunch after. That was the trick. You prepared for a monster, but what stepped into the ring was a smiling storm on legs of steel. Trainers tried, they studied film, drilled strategy, trained for speed. But the moment that bell rang and Manny zipped into action like a human pinball, all their planning crumbled. Some fighters even tried trash talk, bad move. By the time they finished their first insult, Manny had already switched stances, thrown for punches and winked at their trainer. You don't insult a storm, you prepare for impact.
He's not really known as a fast guy. It's like, what am I known for, kid? Like, really? Like, really? Fat? Oh, man. He gonna learn November 22nd, what fast is all about. Manny Pacquiao, lightning fast feet, reflexes, angles.
Boxes usually age like worn-out engines. They collect damage, they slow down. Not Manny, he evolved. In his late 30s, he was dismantling men a decade younger and doing it with ease. Yes, he lost a few, but that's because he faced lions. While others padded records, Manny faced danger. He didn't duck, he dove. Opponents had size, reach, youth, top-tier science behind them. Manny had great speed and a smile that said, "Let's go." And when it was over, most of them were left confused trying to figure out how someone so cheerful just rearranged their bodies like a demolition crew with gloves.
Good luck to him though, man. Good luck to him. He's faster than me? Really? Are you serious? Al Jury's faster than me? Are you serious? Come on, man. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me, man. You're taller, but not.
Now let's talk balance. Manny could jump, pivot, dodge, and strike all in one motion. That's not training, that's divine design. He didn't fight to win rounds, he fought to bend reality. Trainers called it weird, fans called it magic. Opponents called it a blur. Historians, they etched his name into greatness before he even retired. When you line him up next to Ali, Tyson, Sugar Ray, you see the pattern. Charisma, power, poetry. Manny had all of it with one thing they didn't. Humility. He wasn't in the ring to show off. He was there because it was his calling. And just when we thought he was done, he came back. The 2020 for comeback isn't marketing. It's the final verse of a masterpiece written in blood and brilliance. And believe this, he's not going out quietly.
Damn hard. You might want to see every step of this to make sure, because you might think I have something as hard as that. But after he wrapped the hands, I held my hand up like this in my hand. I said, shit. Had I not seen him wrap that hand, I'd ask him to rewrap that damn thing.
So to those still asking, why come back? The answer is simple, because legends don't fade. They echo, and Manny Pacquiao, he's ready to echo one more time. This isn't nostalgia. This is unfinished business. One last storm, one last dance, one final, glorious hurricane. So whether you followed him since the flyweight days or just discovered the legend, remember this. We're not watching just another fight. We're watching history in real time. When Manny steps through those ropes again, time will stop. So subscribe, like the video, comment your favorite Pacquiao memory below. The storm isn't over, it's just getting louder.